Hi Glamazons, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam. Thank you so much for watching if you're new here, and if you're a subscriber, you know what time it is. Thank you, I'm so grateful. Today's video is about how to grow a very successful fashion blog. There are tons of videos on how you can start a blog and make your blog super successful. Today's video is not so much about how to start a blog from like a technical point of view. It's more about how to create a very successful fashion blog. If you're in the beauty space, the lifestyle space, this video is for you. So many videos and articles are very like standard and they don't really go into detail. I'm going to go into tons of detail on how you can start a very successful fashion blog, and you can apply this to the lifestyle sector as well and beauty. And I'm going to talk about how you can get brand deals and how to deal with companies who want to work with you, how to do affiliate marketing, and how to monetize your content so that it makes sense. Okay, I've written some of my notes here on my phone because I don't want to waffle and I really want to get to the point. I don't want to talk about anything that's not actionable and that's not going to work. So I promise everything that I talk about in here will work. And I have credentials. I did start a beauty blog many years ago, one of my really good friends, and that blog by its lifetime had like 1 million views, and I've worked with brands before on that blog. So there are many things that I know. I can't wait to share all of it with you. And an added caveat, I have worked with brands as part of my digital marketing company. So I've been on the brand side, seeing like what brands need, and I've also been doing the creative thing as well. The first thing that we're going to talk about here, I have some people have like amazing YouTube scripts, okay? I don't, so I need to be more organic. So I'll be just referring to my phone every now and then. What is your vision, okay? Your vision is very important, and we need to know what your vision is so that like people who follow you and people who read your blog, they need to know who you are. Are you into neutrals? Are you into millennium pink? Are you into vibrant colors? Are you into minimalism? Are you into different trends? Are you a modest fashionista? Are you a hijabi fashionista? You need to figure out what your voice is and then focus with a laser beam on that voice. So for me, for example, I would say that like my YouTube doesn't really show like what I'm truly into in terms of like fashion and beauty, but my blog shows what I'm about. I love luxury brands and I love jewelry, and I'm really into luxury brands and jewelry and like really cool select handbag pieces. I'm very much a maximalist, I'm not a minimalist, and I really love vibrant things when it comes to style and fashion. That's just for me. There are many people who love minimalism. That's a huge trend right now in fashion. Zero waste is even becoming a trend right now. Eco fashion is huge. So they're different trends and they're different visions. Figure out what your vision is, stick to it for your blog, okay? The next thing now we're going to talk about is the actual strategies to grow your blog, okay? The first thing you need to do is create a Pinterest account. Create it right now. Like pause the video, create your Pinterest account, and then come back right here, okay? Create your Pinterest account. That's the first thing. I prefer just keeping my name the same across all of my platforms. So I'm Haya Glamazon. Obviously my name is Kagam, but I'm Haya Glamazon on Pinterest, on Twitter, on Facebook. I also actually have a Haya Glamazon page for Facebook that I haven't fully like fleshed out yet, but I do use my personal account as well. So on Instagram, on Twitter, on Pinterest, I'm Haya Glamazon for my fashion blog. You need to keep everything uniform. It's really nice for branding, but it's also just easier to get more followers and subscribers that way when you have essentially the same name, okay? Start your Pinterest account right now, okay? Figure it out. If you want a guide, if you want tips, send me a message or send me an email. I respond to every single message and email that I receive, or leave a comment and I'll explain in more detail. But basically, the first thing you need to do is create a Pinterest account. You post your pins on there and create pins using Canva. Don't even waste time just uploading pins as photographs. You need to upload pins that have a specific aspect ratio. This aspect ratio does very well in Pinterest search, and more people will see your pins faster, your pins will have more impressions, etc. I basically would suggest that you're pinning like 25 times a day at least. There's some people who pin up to 100 times a day and they get results ASAP, okay? You have got to get on Pinterest. Don't even waste time. Get on Pinterest if you want to grow your blog right now, okay? The quick strategy to super fast blog traffic on Pinterest is use carousel pins. Carousel pins are like relatively new on the platform. You can put multiple photos. Use Canva. so that your pins are formatted basically for the aspect ratio. It's just much easier that way than faffing around with the Photos editor on Windows or whatever Photos editor you use. It's such a pain in the you know what. I'd rather just use Canva and get it over with, okay? So use carousel pins. People like seeing multiple photographs in one pin, and those pins do better, I promise you. I haven't done like a survey of like all the influencers on Pinterest, but I can tell from my experience, and I have like 700,000 monthly views on my Pinterest platform right now. Carousel pins perform the best. Start using Pinterest ASAP. I would choose the platforms that basically work for you. For me, it's Pinterest, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, okay, and Twitter. Those are the ones that work for me in terms of social media, and those are the ones I put my effort towards. And even with Facebook, I've heard this from so many bloggers, like, oh, I don't like Facebook, I don't care about Facebook. You need to care about Facebook if you want your blog to be successful, okay? So just leave the like sort of political drama out of Facebook. If you want your blog to be successful, you must be on Facebook. I post a lot of my videos and my posts and my blogs on my personal Facebook account, and immediately, like, people who follow me on Facebook and who are my friends on Facebook, they straight away like will watch the video. So the retention rate from Facebook is huge. You can start, I would just prefer starting like a Facebook group itself. That probably makes way more sense, and a Facebook page. So you have your Facebook page, you can post your videos and your articles, and then you can have a private Facebook group for super fans. That's the strategy right now. That's really working for a lot of influencers and for a lot of brands. As I've told you, I've worked brand side for my digital marketing company, so I know what brands are looking for, and Facebook is really, really good. Instagram obviously is the social media network for fashion and for beauty. There is no doubt about it. Instagram is amazing. I also see really good click-through rates for my YouTube videos when I post a link on my Instagram profile. The only thing I would say about Instagram though is, like, I don't even want to say the word because it's such a scary word and I'm scared that this video will get flagged. I won't say the full word, but it starts with an S and it ends with a ban, okay? That can happen on your Instagram if you're not careful, so be very careful with hashtags. But essentially on Instagram, find the fashion hashtags that are very popular for fashion bloggers, but don't use any hashtags that will get you X'd on Instagram, okay? No one wants to get X'd. I can't even use the word because they're like rumors on YouTube. If you use that SB word, you can get in a lot of trouble. So that has happened to many influencers and to many bloggers on Instagram. People get freaked out and start flipping out. I'll talk more about that at the end when I talk about fashion blogging tips on Instagram. But you need to be on Instagram, create a beautiful aesthetic, and create a sort of branded page that shows what your fashion blog is about. For Twitter, I would just use Twitter to post affiliate links to products you like. My Twitter seems to really be working now when I post really cool products that I think are really cool. The other day, I posted a link to I believe it was an Elisa perfume. That's one of my favorite perfumes. I just posted a link. I had like 40 people click on it and it wasn't spam or bot traffic. I was like, whoa, okay. I used the relevant hashtags though for Twitter, so people who are interested in Elisa, interested in luxury brands and luxury perfumes saw it and they liked it, okay? So obviously once you've decided on your platforms, you have to be updating those platforms regularly. It's not just like, oh, I'm opening my Pinterest and my Facebook and my Twitter and my Instagram and I'm doing it every now and then. You have to be updating it regularly. I am revamping my Instagram at the moment, so I haven't updated that in a bit, but my Pinterest is constantly updated, my Twitter is constantly updated, and I'm regularly posting on Facebook. I have a new approach for my Instagram strategy, which I'll talk about in another video, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. But make sure that your socials are serious and get serious about posting, okay? Don't just be like, okay guys, I'm posting, and don't just write your blogs and be like, no one's reading my blog. No one is going to read your blog if they don't know it exists. They know it exists when you post on socials, okay? The next thing I'm going to talk about is emails. You have got to create an email list for your subscribers on your blog. I personally use MailChimp. There are other people who use ConvertKit. There are tons of email options. I use MailChimp right now. It's free, but later I'll probably use like a paid plan as I get more subscribers and I want to send more emails. I really would say grow your email list as soon as possible. The really cool thing about emails, email subscribers are completely different from people who have subscribed to you like via, you know, YouTube, or who people following you on Twitter. Like, I rarely subscribe to email newsletters. Like, I have to seriously like care about what you're doing in order to subscribe, because my email inbox right now is overflowing anyway, from client emails to general emails about things. I would get an email list as soon as possible so that you can promote your articles, your blogs, your videos, and anything that you're doing that's connected to your fashion blog. The next thing right now I'll talk about is how often should you be posting. Now, this is something that's very controversial in the blogging world. Many people are like, oh, what's the point of even having a fashion blog? Like, who cares, whatever. For me personally, I think you're missing a trick if you are not updating your blog, and you're missing out on huge opportunities, because first of all, if you're watching this, you already know the thing. If you're a creator on YouTube, if you don't have 1,000 subs and you don't have 4,000 watch hours, you cannot get monetized on YouTube. Whereas you can create your blog today, okay? Put Google AdSense today as soon as you're approved, which is like a day or 2 days, and you're instantly earning. You must get basically your blog and get all of that sorted out, and make sure that you're posting as often as possible. Right now, I post on my blog like maybe every 4 days. On YouTube, I'm posting like 3 times a week. So my YouTube frequency is higher. My blog frequency is lower, but it's at least every 3 to 4 days I'm posting like a new article or a blog on my fashion blog. And I've been finding that's been working out really great for me. So that basically works out to like twice a week. That works out great for me, but I definitely would also consider like revamping that and increasing the post that you're doing. There's some fashion bloggers who do once a month. I think once a month is okay, but I just feel like you're not going to get the traffic to justify like even putting ads on there. So that's something to remember. So I would say maybe like once a week is a good beginning, but twice is good, 3 is better, etc. Okay. And then the next post we're going to talk about here is what to share in your email list. Your email list should feel like a text message to like one of your best friends. I like writing my email newsletters, and I share things that I don't share on my blogs to encourage people to sign up, because people are not going to want to sign up to your email newsletter if it's just you rehashing what's on your blog. I talk about what I'm up to during the week, but I always make it pertain to fashion, lifestyle, luxury, shopping, etc. The general scope of my blog. My blog has more of a shopping angle to it, and you'll see that this YouTube channel also has like a shopping focus as well. So I'll tend to just be like, hey guys, these are products that I really loved. I'll talk about interesting tidbits that are going on in my life, things that are not too personal, but that at the same time allow people an insight into my life. That seems to be working for me. So find what works for you and share that in your list. You want to encourage people to open your emails, but you don't want to be annoying. Right now, I'm sending 1 email a week to my email subscribers. So my email subscribers are subscribed to my MailChimp, but there are people who follow me via email who are subscribed via WordPress. Now, those people who are subscribed via WordPress, they don't get my exclusive email list. So I keep encouraging them with each post, subscribe to my list as well. I don't spam you, it's just 1 time a week. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is increasing views on your blog. Like I already told you, okay, if you want to monetize your blog, you have got to get views. Ads basically are paid out in something called CPM, cost per mille. Mille is Latin for 1,000. So basically for every 1,000 views, you'll get paid out. The cost per mille fluctuates massively. On YouTube, it's crazy. I've seen some CPMs on YouTube that are like huge, like $40, $30. Massive CPMs. And there are other CPMs that are very, very low. The fashion, beauty, and lifestyle segments on, at least for websites, they can be very high, but they also can be extremely low because of the competition. It depends, but in general, the CPMs for your website pay very well. The CPMs for YouTube for beauty and fashion are not as high as other CPMs for other industries like gaming and business, for example. But for Google AdSense, I've heard it's pretty good. Okay, so when it comes to increasing views, the first thing that you need to do is you need to get very laser focused about posting, as I said, but critically, you need to learn SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it's not just like fiddling around with a title or doing something like that. You have got to get serious about SEO. So that means SEO is different on every platform. Pinterest has SEO, YouTube has SEO, and your blog has SEO. For your blog, you have to focus on actual SEO from search engines like Google and Bing and Yahoo, and make sure that your posts basically appear in all of those search engines. I have one post on my blog that's done very well from an SEO point of view. It's an ultimate guide to Cartier love bracelets that I wrote, and I did this like a year and a half ago. I posted it, and at first it was like, nothing's really happening, no one's reading it. And then one day it got picked up on Bing, which is Microsoft's search engine. And then from there, it just literally went like to like this. It just flew out even of the frame of the camera right here, guys. It went out of control, and now it's been picked up on Google. And now every single day there are people who are searching for information, shopping info, how to buy Cartier love bracelets. They find my ultimate guide, and it's amazing just to see people from all around the world. The other day I was looking at my stats. Someone from Saudi Arabia was like looking for information about Cartier love bracelets and was reading my blog. And that's because my blog had really amazing SEO. The SEO tips that you need to have for really good blog posts so that they get picked up on Google, on Bing and Yahoo search are the following. Really excellent titles. Use your head tags, so headline 1, headline 2, headline 3. Use questions as like heading titles. So for example, if I was to write an ultimate guide about like, you know, red roses, for example, I would be like, should I buy red roses for my house? Question. How can I buy beautiful red roses that are fresh? Or how can I buy fake red roses? Question. So if you write your blogs, basically you can write really interesting articles, but make sure to have massive headings as questions. These days people don't just search for a term, they search for what are called long tail keywords. So these tend to be sentences or questions. If you do it like that, you're absolutely going to get people who are going to be searching for your content. The other day, someone was not logged into their account, so I could see their search term, and it came on my WordPress analytics, and it literally said, how can I buy a Cartier love bracelet if I don't have any money? So that was so fascinating to me, that someone, you know, really wants a Cartier love bracelet, but maybe at the moment they don't have the budget to afford one, but they still found my post. And I did actually discuss like the financial element of purchasing a love bracelet one day, if that's something that you want to do. So your SEO needs to be lit. You also need to put tags, use keywords, okay? To make things way easier on yourself, just use keyword tools. There's a free one that I really like. It's called Keyword Keg. It allows you a specific number of set free searches. I will link everything in the description below of all the tools that I mentioned. It's called Keyword Keg. It's free up until a certain amount of searches. I use it to see what people are searching for on YouTube. I also use it to see what people are searching for on Google and on Bing and on Yahoo. I really like that one because it doesn't force me to sign up. It just allows free searches. And then later, if you want to pay, then you can, okay? And then I would also say, just like for improving SEO, just like read a few articles about it. Some of this stuff is a little bit complex in the beginning, but it's fairly explanatory. So just to keep it simple, have a really nice title, use questions as like mini headings basically in your article. Search the keywords that people are searching for, not the ones that you think that people like. Make sure that you use long tail keywords as much as possible, and use tags as well. And then eventually in maybe a month or 6 weeks, you should see things picking up, and you should see yourself getting a lot of your traffic from SEO. Right now, 20% of my traffic is coming from search engines. I would love to get to 40%. So I know when I improve my SEO, that will happen. Another thing that helps SEO is titling your images correctly on WordPress using something called alt text, which you'll see in your CMS when you're uploading posts. So when let's say you upload like a picture of like a wedding dress or something, you're writing about wedding dresses, make sure that you give that photograph a description in the alt text, like white wedding dress, and you're explaining in detail what it looks like, and that you also name the image white wedding dress. Why is this important? When people are searching through image search, white wedding dresses, then your photograph will come up. Maybe they'll click through and you'll get a view. Okay, so that's how the SEO bit works. It also goes into more detail, so don't forget, you can ask me a question if you want to. So these are basically the general things that you basically need to do to make your fashion blog like gain traction in terms of organically, so without having to pay for views or anything like that. The next thing I'll talk about is fashion blogging on YouTube. This is obviously becoming a huge thing. Fashion influencers are everywhere on this platform, and they're doing very well. There are a few who I've seen who are doing really well, and the ones who tend to be successful are the ones who have, like I said in the beginning, a vision, a point of view, but they stick to one thing. Blog readers are happy to see a mixture of things. So they're happy to see your outfits, they're happy to see what bag you bought, they're happy to see you gallivanting around with your boyfriend or your husband going on trips. YouTube viewers tend to like their creators to stick to 1 to 2 topics. 3 is like even max. And many YouTube creators say you should just do one thing. So I think even for me, I've been learning that as well. I've been trying to figure out like what's working for me. And when I see other fashion influencers and fashion bloggers who are successful on YouTube, they tend to focus on just one thing. So if they do fashion and beauty, they'll stick to it within their aesthetic. For example, there's a blogger called Coco Beauty. She's got more than 200,000 subscribers. She's got a beautiful aesthetic. She looks fantastic. But clearly her aesthetic is like effortless, minimalistic, neutral style. So she does fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, but all within her aesthetic. So that's her niche, and that's how she's able to get subscribers and followers. So you need to do it like that. You need to figure out what is your like underpinning thing that you're going to draw everything together, and that is for YouTube. Another one of my favorite fashion YouTubers is called Maria Dragonova. She just posts really cool like luxury videos. She posts unboxings, but she also does like shopping vlogs and lifestyle vlogs. And the key thing about what she does is luxury and glamorous looking, you know, photo shoots that she does and videos. So you need to have a point of view with YouTube, but you really need to not deviate. So YouTube like subscribers don't seem to like it when you like do things that are like, I wasn't expecting you to like now make a video about travel. And even with me, I subscribe to YouTubers for specific reasons. Like I don't necessarily want to see you, like if I'm subscribing to you because I want advice on like earrings or whatever, I don't know if I want to see you then like doing a vlog with your kid or your cat. You do need to try and stay on topic, and that's something I'm learning, and that's something that successful fashion blogs on YouTube basically do. Stay on topic, stick to your aesthetic, and just keep it moving. Fashion blogging on Instagram. Oh my gosh, I've got so many tips for this because I have been client side with my clients. The first thing is, yeah, like I said, have a point of view, stick to that point of view. Make your email like available. How are brands supposed to work with you if you haven't put your contact details in your bio? Put your email in your bio so that brands can contact you, okay? Many brands have one person whose job it is to just sit through Instagram, the search bar, and to search for popular hashtags so that they can find new influencers who they can use for their brand campaigns. Make it easy for people to contact you. Post as often as you can, and post with a point of view that is branded and makes sense. So for example, one massive thing that's going on right now, I'm sure you guys have seen it anyway, is the whole zero waste movement. There is like a coterie of fashion bloggers and lifestyle bloggers who are part of zero waste. Now that's interesting, that's cool. But if you're going to do that, you can only really do that in order to get the brand deals on Instagram that you want. Okay, so make it easy for companies and brands to contact you. And for the love of God, respond to emails, respond to DMs. You know, there's some fashion influencers that don't like dealing with DMs. I think if it's in the early days of your fashion Instagram account, like you don't have 500 followers yet, or 1,000, or even like 10,000, you know, just respond to DMs. You never know. There's some companies that just prefer to do DM. I would prefer an email. I think email is more professional, but just be open-minded when you're trying to build up your fashion Instagram, okay? Another thing is post images that you know are gonna do well on Instagram. Look at your favorite fashion bloggers on Instagram, see what they're doing. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Your point of view is important, how you do things is important, but you also need to not reinvent the wheel. That's extremely important if you're trying to be successful on Instagram. Instagram is very, very, very important. Whenever I post videos on like my Instagram bio and I go to my stories, I'm like, hey guys, check out my latest video on YouTube. Like immediately people go and follow. Okay, so Instagram is a huge opportunity for fashion bloggers, but you should use it to build your brand. Don't just be on Instagram doing your fashion blog on Instagram solely. Use fashion blogging on Instagram to grow other parts of your brand and to pull viewers into your actual website or your YouTube channel. And even from your YouTube channel, use people to pull them to your website, okay? Another thing I would say for fashion blogging tips on Instagram is make sure that you're using stories at least like regularly. I would probably say every day or a few times a week. It's difficult for some people. They're like, oh, should I start a fashion Instagram profile from scratch? But if your personal account already has like 5,000 followers or 1,000 followers, to me, that just seems like you're adding more work. I would just convert your personal account and make it into your fashion blogging account if you're okay with that. And then just start another personal account where you can post pics of your cat, your dog, your mom, your dad. Because it's just so hard to get followers. What will happen is the people who aren't interested in fashion posts, they'll just unfollow, and then they'll just organically be replaced with people who love what you're doing and who really care about what you're doing. I would also just say as a final fashion blogging on Instagram tip is make sure that you yourself are constantly going through Explore, seeing what posts are doing well and seeing what hashtags are doing well. I've already talked about there are hashtags that are okay on Instagram. So be very careful and do not use hashtags that are on Instagram, because then you could end up getting SB'd from the platform, and that is not fun. I have read so many posts and forums of people who have been SB'd on Instagram, and it's devastating for some people. That's why I was telling you, your fashion blog has to be a holistic 360-degree approach. Not just Instagram, not just your blog, not just YouTube. You have to do everything, okay? And then we're also going to talk about monetization. I touched a little bit on that, about Google AdSense. Obviously, there's YouTube AdSense as well once you're, monetized on YouTube. I'm still in the early days, but I actually have a Google AdSense account. I've had ads on other blogs and I've been paid out, and it was great. When I was running my natural hair beauty blog, I had companies contact me, be like, hey, we want to put links on your blog. Can we pay? Yeah. And they did pay. We want to put ads on your blogs. Can we pay? Yeah. Can we put a sponsored post? Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things that you need to do is you need to monetize this thing. You have to treat it like a business, and you have to get serious. Don't treat this like a joke or like, oh yeah, it's like a hobby. To me personally, I just don't see the point of treating it as a hobby. I know there's some bloggers who are like, yeah, just like go easy with it and then you can make it a business later. If you're spending any money on this thing, it has got to be a freaking business, okay? So monetize, you can monetize with adverts, you can use ad networks. There are other ad networks that are very popular. I think there's Mediavine, there's another one called AdThrive. I could be saying their names wrong. Those ones are for like high-end, high-performing bloggers who are getting like 100,000 views a month. Obviously, AdSense is very, very popular. And obviously, if you are a fashion blogger and you have a YouTube channel and you're already monetized, then the double whammy is you could be getting paid from YouTube ads and Google AdSense in general that's on your blog or on your website. Another thing you can do is cut your own private deals with brands. So you can send emails. I like doing this because I like sales. So I do this anyway for clients. So for me, it wouldn't be a big deal just to send a few emails. Be like, hey, I'm a, content creator and I'm a fashion editor, fashion blogger, whatever. Would you like to advertise on my website? Affiliate marketing is huge. Many brands prefer to do that now because then they don't have to pay you outright in case it fails. I actually think for fashion bloggers, it's better to get brand deals and advertising deals. Affiliate marketing is great, but it takes a while to kick in, particularly when you're growing your follower base. And some people are very sensitive about that. They think that influencers and creators have got millions and millions and millions of dollars or pounds in their account from affiliate marketing. And it's just not that easy. I've done affiliate marketing with another blog that I had, which was focused on the HR and recruitment world. And I did well with the affiliate income that I made from that blog, but it was hard work. I was on Twitter constantly promoting and banging out like tweets and posts to get people to sign up for this affiliate service, and they paid out a commission every time I got someone to sign up. Fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, completely different. You really do need to grow your follower base, grow your fan base, and then you can start posting out affiliate links and not overdoing it or annoying or irritating the people who are following you, okay? And then just super quickly, as I was saying, advertising versus affiliates. Yeah, I really just prefer getting like a proper brand deal. I think that's a better thing for creators as opposed to affiliates, but I'm not opposed to affiliate work either. But I just think in the early days, if you can even just get a brand to pay you, I think that's better. In the early days of like fashion blogging, fashion Instagramming, brands were not paying. I mean, a few years ago, Anastasia of Beverly Hills, her daughter was at a fashion business event, and she talks about how all of these massive fashion influencers, beauty influencers that you know, like who would like flog their brand, they didn't pay them in the beginning. I'm pretty sure they're paying them now, but in the beginning they didn't, and that really built their Instagram following. These days, creators are not going to allow that. I think even if it's the early days of your channel, like even just being paid like a little tiny amount, that's better than being sent a product and having to flog it for nothing and having to promote it for nothing. So I would say if a brand contacts you and they're like, hey, we want you to promote our brand, but it's a free gift and we won't pay, I would just tell them that, you know, you will need some sort of compensation and some sort of financial payment in lieu of posting a pic on Instagram or shooting a video about them, because it's just way too much work if there's no income in it. Okay. And then in terms of how to get brand deals, it's just kind of also what I touched on before. You also need to get serious about taking this seriously. When I was working for a huge client who's very, very successful in the lifestyle space, I was doing some like consulting work with this specific client, and they dealt with a lot of influencers. And my goodness, I was shocked by the amount of influencers who don't reply to emails. Like, you know, influencers, some influencers, not all, some influencers on YouTube all day complaining and whinging and moaning that people are not purchasing and are not, or companies, I beg your pardon, are not wanting to pay them. Well, how can people pay you if you don't respond to emails? Like, you have to respond to emails. Now, you don't know who that person is. That could just be an assistant sending an email. That could be the marketing manager. Some CEOs reach out to influencers on their own. So I think that's the biggest problem, is there are some influencers, not all, who have a lack of seriousness about what they're doing. I would encourage you to get brand deals. You can absolutely get them. You can reach out to brands yourself. Be humble if you're in the early days of your account. So for example, for me here, I don't even have 200 subscribers yet, but I'm working to build out my YouTube channel. I'm happy to work with companies that want to work with me. I won't like say I need, you know, 500 million pounds to do a post or to do a video. But for my blog, for example, my blog has way more views than this channel, and my blog is properly growing and it has a lot of web traffic. So if I get reached out to for my blog, then yeah, I will need more payment than I maybe would accept for here. Also be realistic and be humble. And don't like look at what other fashion Instagrammers and fashion influencers are doing. Okay, because there are people like Chiara Ferragni, who she's been like a fashion blogger for more than a decade. She's been doing this for more than a decade, putting in work. She will be paid millions of dollars for campaigns because she has put in the work. So you should also be realistic for what you can do, but also look at what you can bring to a brand. It would be really embarrassing to be paid for a campaign and then you don't get any impressions on your account, you don't generate any sales for them. That's not going to be good, is it now? So get really serious about what you're doing. Use the tips that I've said to grow your fashion blog and to make your blog very successful, and understand there are two sides of the story. That's why I wanted to share the influencer side, but I also want to share the brand side and how companies see things. I think that there's huge potential to build a very successful fashion blog, and I would suggest don't just look at fashion blogging on Instagram. Don't just do Instagram. Do it all. Create a brand. And by creating a brand, you create a business, and that just brings many opportunities to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, and God bless.